listeners, Shelby here. Before we get to the episode this week, we wanted to take a moment to address the June 24th Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. This decision, as you likely already know, stripped away the right to safe and legal abortion. Restricting access to comprehensive reproductive care, including abortion, threatens the health and independence of all Americans. And this decision could lead to the loss of a lot of other rights. To learn more about what you can do to help, we encourage you to go to podvoices.help. That's podvoices.help. As much as we love for the show to be a reprieve from the real world, we know that there's a lot going on, and we also want you to know that we encourage you to speak up about injustices, take care of yourself, and spread the word. All right. Thanks to all of the other podcasters that we love who also had this quick message at the beginning of their shows and encouraged us to do the same. All right. Here's the episode. Thanks.
Welcome to the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. We're two friends taking an explorative journey into all things astrology and a little woo. I'm Christine. I'm a creative, intuitive counselor and coach, and astrology enthusiast. We Pisces like to wear all the hats. You can find me on IG at The Dreamy Piscean.
And I'm Shelby. I am a licensed social worker, a big feelings person, and a light skeptic. Here to learn all the astrological things. You can find me on Twitter at Shelby Tweeting, and being a Cancer rising on Instagram at Shelby Cooking Things. Welcome to our show. All right. Welcome back to the I'm Such a Pisces podcast, season 2. I'm your host, Shelby,
And I'm Christine.
And we're so excited to be back.
Yay!
After a couple rounds of 2 different kinds of technical difficulties.
Listen, you would think it was Mercury retrograde.
You would think. And we try not to record during those. I don't know. Are any other planets in retrograde right now?
Yes. Can I remember? So what just went Saturn?
Saturn? Okay.
Saturn. And something else just went into retrograde. Ooh, now I gotta look it up. Let's see if I can look it up really quick. But we're not going to take any time on that.
This is why we started over. We've got new content.
Yes.
Because we're already... the people need to know when the planets are retrograde.
Yes.
Are not in retrograde, but are retrograde.
Yes. Come on, remember. Yes.
I'm really trying. We're trying to do our best to bring y'all some fresh astrology content this season.
We have
so
some
excited.
guests. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we've got guests lined up. We've got astrology adjacent topics.
Yes.
We've got some of the basics that I still need covered.
Listen, and look, so, I didn't hear a tweet last night. So I was reading a tweet last night. And it was very, on point. And, of course, I'm not going to remember exactly how it goes because that is my brain. But it was something like when you're new... Well, when people don't know anything about astrology, they're, more skeptical towards it. And, once people start, learning it and, really getting, finding out some things, then they become, excited by it. It's it's fascinating. And then it said people who are more seasoned are humbled by it. I was like, ooh, okay. Ooh. All right. I'm feeling that.
Yeah. Are you in the humbling phase?
No, I'm still in the excitement phase. I'm still excited. I'm like, wow. Oh, this is it. Wow. I mean, there's always just so much stuff. Yeah.
So much stuff.
From what I've heard from people, I guess, who are more seasoned, there is no real end to the learning.
Just more and more and more to explore.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm still very much fascinated and excited. And hopefully, that translates to our season that we have coming up. Our excitement about all the cool things that you can learn from astrology.
And all that to say, if you're a listener and you're still confused about certain aspects of astrology, same. So is everybody, apparently.
Yes.
It's never ending.
It's
So
never
just
ending.
roll with it.
Yes.
Roll with it. It's
Just,
fine.
ask questions, keep digging deeper, if you're interested, I think reading is really helpful.
Reading
as
is
much as
fundamental.
reading is really fundamental. Like, I mean, if you really want to learn more about astrology, a good astrology book will
Or an
will be
audiobook.
helpful. Or an audiobook. Though I do think now, okay, well, I am a visual learner, I will say that, but like
Same.
there's so much. I feel like seeing it helps, because you like get into like the glyphs and all that kind of stuff and
Yeah, that's true.
charts, and like you really need to be able to see what this stuff looks like because even just looking at it, you're like, now what is this supposed to tell me?
That is why the Sanctuary app has been, again, not an advertisement, but like,
Right.
you
But
told
y'all
me
can
about
sponsor
that at
us.
some point. Yeah, if you want. You told me about it at some point last season, and it has really like changed the way that I look at it, because I can actually look at a birth chart and
Yes.
make more sense of it. Like, yeah, it makes a lot more sense to look at it for me personally. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
that tracks.
And, and it just, over time, it's like you start to recognize the symbols or the glyphs, and then you can look at the birth chart and you can at least see like, oh, okay, I know the houses and I know the signs, so you can see the signs around there and you see where everything's placed. You can see the planets in the house, and so you start to kind of get a picture, and you can get deeper and deeper. And so today, not to jump into today's topic because we have other things to talk about, but we are going to talk about the degrees of astrology today. And as far as like on the spectrum of astrology content, I would say degrees are like, if you think of it as a pyramid, the degrees are like at the top, right? Like a very fine detail. So
Yes.
we're not necessarily going in order. Like with our basics, we're just kind of jumping into different things. This is going to have like a fun tinge to it as far as degrees. But yeah, degrees are kind of more of a fine detail versus like something like your sign's element, which would be a more basic, detail and maybe a place to start.
Yeah, I really like thinking about it in that way, like as a pyramid, as a
Yeah.
helpful again, a visual learner. I'm like, I can picture it.
Yes.
So you've got your, your water, earth, fire, air. Like, I feel like the less things there are, the
Yes.
lower on the pyramid it is.
Mhm.
And then you've got like the zodiac signs themselves, and then houses, and then
your
planets and other
planets.
stuff. Yeah, planets. Okay, there we go.
Then your
And then
aspects. And then your degrees.
Okay, so maybe that's okay. And I know we do have some other things to cover, which we will get into before we get there. But maybe that's something to think about, because I don't know that I completely understand aspects versus degrees.
Yes.
And like how those are different things.
Yes.
Because they all feel like math to me.
Yeah. And are. I was trying to figure. I was like, what is the correct grammar? Are they are math?
And is.
Yes, and is right. I was like, and is and are and yes, like it is math. And so, especially once you get to aspects and degrees, you are talking about math. And so that's when the astrology gets mathy, and you usually lose me with math.
Mathin'.
The math is mathin'. Okay. Yes.
Yes. Same. That is usually where I get lost in any point. But you know what? We're gonna do our best.
Yes.
We're capable. We're women in STEM. Call us women in STEM.
Yes. I might be in STEAM because of that art component.
There you go. Because astrology is also an art and a science.
Yes.
All right. Well, with all that, do we want to jump into CoStar?
Yes. Let's do it.
Give us the mess that CoStar is giving us today.
The mess.
Oh, also, I just want you to also know, while we're on the topic, I recently re-downloaded the Pattern app.
Yay!
It's too much to have a whole segment because it goes really deep, I think, but it's really been telling me some things lately.
Girl. Speaking of things that have been told today from an astrology app, the Sanctuary app this morning had a word for me. And now, can I remember it? Oh, hold on. Let me see if it's at the top. But it was like, oh, it's not. It was a read. I was like, I feel disrespected. Like, I was like, this isn't usually the vibe that I get from the Sanctuary app. The Sanctuary app doesn't usually like read you for filth. It's usually like the pattern or co-star. Like, co-star is really the one that will like, I'm like, damn, okay, excuse me.
A very quick little like, here's a one sentence synopsis of why you're terrible.
Right. But Sanctuary usually, you know, it's like, okay, all right, something to think about. Like today, they came for me. I was like, all right, well.
Okay. Well, do you want to tell us what CoStar is giving today?
Yes, I will tell you what CoStar is giving. So, CoStar says, do not be afraid of evil.
Ooh.
Ominous.
Given the dark side.
Okay.
Yeah.
The shadow work.
That's next episode.
Right. Yes. So our dues today, or my dues today, are jujitsu.
Okay.
Going veg.
Hey.
Like, let me think about today. So far, so good. Yep.
In a veg vibe?
In a veg vibe.
Hashtag veg vibe. Sorry.
And self-tattoos. Now,
okay.
what we're not doing is prison tattoos. I'm not doing these self. Now, Shelby is a self-piercer over here. If y'all listened to last season.
Yeah, just go back if you want to hear that story. It's funny that you say that. I literally just had lunch with a friend who also has a lot of tattoos, and she said, I had a moment where a self-tattoo kit got advertised to me, and I almost bought it. And she texted another friend, and that friend was like, you're going to regret this in like 2 weeks. Please
Absolutely.
Don't do that.
Do not do that.
And I was like, yeah, Taylor, can't be out here giving yourself stick and pokes. Like,
no,
that's not it.
That's not it.
It's not it. It's not it. So, thankfully, that was.
Is she an artist?
She's a writer.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that she has really cool handwriting. She's not an artist, though.
Okay.
Not a visual artist.
Okay. So, maybe some people can. I just wouldn't. I don't dye my own hair. So, I can't do it. Because I need it to look good. I want it to look right.
Yeah. Couldn't do it. So, anyway, that's an interesting one.
That is interesting.
What are your don'ts?
Well, my don'ts are big break.
Okay.
I hope there's no big breaks, like all the skating I've been doing.
This podcast is our big break, or
not.
Okay.
Well, this is don't, so
I guess not.
I want this to be our big break.
Right, same. I don't want to work anymore.
Yes. So pirouettes could be related to the big break. No pirouettes, no spinning. Okay. Now, I will say I have been doing some spins because of what we'll be talking about later in the show. I've been spinning. Oh, not on the skates. Well, a little bit on the skates, but not the way I want to be doing it.
Same. It's hard. It's a journey. We're on a journey.
Yes. I'm like, watching all these skate videos and all these people, I'm like, oh, I want to try a toe spin now. I'm like, are you ready for a toe spin, Christine? Like, let's stick to the heel toe spin. Like, why don't I take my stops off? Why don't you not? Like,
I can't. I'm still working on the heel toe spin, so I'm over there just kind of.
And one day you'll just get on your skates and it'll go and you'll be like, it went, and then you'll just keep doing it. The muscle memory.
We'll try. We're trying.
Right? Just keep doing it, girl. Okay. And the last don't. Hand mirrors.
Okay.
All right. I don't know what the hand mirror is looking at that we shouldn't be, but it said no. So,
Who uses a hand mirror for anything other than what I currently have in mind? Like, does
right?
anyone use them for any other, like, what is the point of a hand mirror other than just to look at things that you can't
see? Exactly.
I need help with this. Like, is everything cool up there? Like,
now, I will say that I did used to use a hand mirror for actually looking at the back of my head when I would style my hair. But that's the only other thing other than, looking at other regions of the body.
Sometimes you just really got to know, like, is everything cool? Does everything look fine?
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, we used to work with young people who experience certain things, and we would encourage them to have a look, right? Like young women,
totally normal.
Absolutely, please look. Please know what's going on with your
yourself.
Body. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. It's been, maybe you said don't do it, but I'm like, maybe it's not a bad idea,
Yeah. Maybe just not today, for whatever reason.
The stars say nay, but perhaps another time.
Another time. All right. Well, what is your co-star giving today, Shelby?
Okay, so co-star is telling me the act of disarming can be much more interesting in its difficulty than slashing ever was.
Oh, interesting.
So, I think it's telling me, like, don't come at it with a knife, like, come at it with a, everybody drop your weapons kind of thing.
Finesse.
Yeah. Exactly. My do's are telling me black tie, which, I mean, you can see me clearly. I'm very casual today. Sorry. Black tie, parlor games, and hors d'oeuvres, which I love hors d'oeuvres.
Yes. Sounds like you got a party tonight. Like, that's what it sounds like to me. With the parlor games.
Dress up, go be fancy somewhere.
Right?
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do after we record. Probably not, but,
Do y'all have, like, casinos in Kansas City?
We do. And we live really close to them.
See?
Too.
Might find you at the casino tonight dressed up.
You know what? I hadn't really thought about that, but there's 2 casinos. We're right by the river, and there's 2 riverboat casinos, and I'm like,
Date night, a little blackjack table, a little roulette, know.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
Except, I'm not gonna lie, the casinos here are not, like, they're not nice casinos. Like,
well, I mean...
Okay. They're Midwest casinos. Like, you could probably smoke inside still, so... If that doesn't do anything.
I went to school in Memphis, and, now there are no casinos in Tennessee, but Mississippi, there are... And so Tunica is right outside of Memphis, and that's where we would go. I mean, they were decent. I wouldn't say they're, like, not nice, but, like, it's not Vegas. Like, yeah.
It's not a black tie.
Right. You're just going in your casual. You go with what you have on and go on down there and eat at Paula Deen's.
Oh, no, not Paula Deen's.
Now, that was what was open back in the day. Now, I don't know. I've eaten at a couple Paula Deen's was good, man. Paula Deen messed this up for us because, listen, we enjoy Paula Deen's.
I know, but was anybody surprised? Was anybody
not
really
at all
surprised by her
at all
behavior?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, so my don'ts. Speaking of Paula Deen, people's projects. Don't do people's projects.
Yes.
No projects today. No double booking. Too late. Kind of already was like too late for like. I went to lunch. I was like, oh, I have plenty of time to get back for the podcast. Already run late. I'm already doing all the don'ts. And then don't lap it up.
Oh.
So, I don't totally know what that means, but okay.
Yeah, what are we lapping up? Again, what are we lapping up? Yeah. we won't even go down that rabbit hole. I'm not even gonna.
We don't have to.
I'm not even gonna take it down there.
We don't have to. But that's co-star.
So co-star comes in, you know, with a lot of interesting things starting off season 2.
It sure does.
A lot of questions.
Questions that need answers.
Yes. Can we ask clarifying questions? Let's go to our, you know, our tarot deck. Like, we need some answers. So what's happening here?
Well, do we want to jump straight into our relatable content?
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right.
All
you
right.
got content for us?
I got a little content for us. Let me pull it up.
I also, for once, have some content.
Yes.
Some tweets.
Yes. Okay, I have a meme. I guess a couple memes and a tweet. Or it could be a meme and 2 tweets. Anyways. So our first meme. See, there's another train. This is like the couple hours of just trains. So our first meme is a picture of Ms. Lisa Simpson. Mm-hmm. And she is in the back of a car and she's holding, you know, which very likely, I don't know, looks like it could be an iPod. Mm-hmm. And she's listening. She's got her headphones in. And it says, when you're that kind of person who restarts a song that is already in the middle because you feel like you haven't enjoyed it like it deserves. And that's Pisces. And I said, absolutely.
I did that 3 times on the way home today.
Yes. See?
Listen
I
to
knew
the
it.
same song. I was like, no, I gotta
go back.
Do it again.
Yep. Nope.
Do it again.
And listen, like, I will get annoyed. Like, sometimes I'm, like, in a groove and, like Melissa may walk in and she might start talking about something. And I'm like, so you're gonna continue to talk. Okay, let me pause. Or let me just restart my song when you're done. Because I need to fully be immersed in this music. And, you talking to me is not allowing that. So let me just wait, listen to you, and then I'm going to come back and restart the song.
I went through a phase where I would only listen to podcasts for a little while. And I think it was because I realized that, like, when I listen to music, I'm like, I can't, nothing else around me matters. Like, I can't.
Yes.
And for some reason, when I listen to a podcast, I can come in and out of it very quickly, and everything's fine.
Yes.
But music, makes me feel things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've already talked about the sad girl playlist. Like, we've been there, done that. Yes.
And if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it on Spotify.
Please listen to it. But yeah, I'm just like, I get fully sucked in. Like, I can't separate myself from whatever emotion it's making me feel. I'm like, these people don't even know me. Like, why do I feel this way?
Girl, listen. Oof.
That's how it is.
A word. So, that was that me. Like, I done got caught up. Oh, yeah, it's me. Okay. Next. It says, Pisces at home. I want to go out. I want to meet friends. When Pisces goes out, I want to go home. I hate people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on a weirdly social kick lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's the Gemini moon really, like, popping out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels super abnormal for me. Like, this is not how I usually am. I do not usually enjoy being out and about this much, or seeing people, or, like, anything. So yeah, it's been a weird time.
Yes. I absolutely, same. Like, well, I haven't been out as much, but I feel like wanting to go out more. And, like, I'm like, maybe it's like the Leo season thing. Like, I'm just like, ooh, I want to be out. And, like, you know, enjoying the energy. But I know it will come to an end.
At some point.
Yeah. All right, last one. And this is a tweet. Let's see. It's Coco at mystical ASF. Sorry, I was going to just say mystical ASF. You don't believe in astrology, but you believe maybe he'll change. LMAO, okay. That That was just a little read.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay, that goes really well with another one of these tweets that I found that is really hilarious. I wasn't going to do this one first, but I'm going to segue into it really nicely.
Yes.
Same thing, and it's about people being skeptical of astrology, which, you know, I'm skeptical of everything.
Hey.
I think healthy skepticism is fine.
Yes.
But, you know, it's also sometimes you need to look around at your life and, you know, what are you really believing in?
Yeah. And I think, I mean, the thing is with the most of the skeptics is that they're not actually reading anything about it, or like they go off of like memes and like pop astrology and they're like, oh, this is bullshit. Which, I mean, yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff, it's, well, and that's not even fully bullshit, but it's just like, that's not the fullness of it. Mm-hmm. That's like,
yes.
Pop, you know, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They just kind of like turn it into like the most distilled version of itself, and it's just, it's fun, but it's
right,
not,
it's fun.
That's it.
Yeah. Dig deeper,
okay,
y'all. Dig deeper.
Dig deeper in everything, really.
Yes.
Okay, so the tweet that I found that reminded me of that is some random person tweeted, if you have any interest in astrology, I'm going to assume there's something seriously wrong with you. And then the Rude Astrology account quote tweeted it.
Uh-huh.
And they quote tweeted it. They didn't say anything. They just quote tweeted it with this picture. And it's just this dude standing in front of a building, but the building says Department of No Bitches. And it's like, yeah, clearly this dude, like, whoever tweeted this is, like, being very angry about people being interested in astrology.
Right.
And probably doesn't get any bitches. Because all the hot girls like astrology, okay?
All the hot girls like astrology. Come on.
I don't know if you can see it, but this is terrible lighting. Department of No Bitches. I'll put it on the Instagram, because that shit makes me laugh.
Yes. Like, I don't know. People are just so, like, and they get so bent about it. Like, why does it bother you so much?
Right. Like, let me just enjoy a thing. Like, you don't have to like it. It's fine.
Right.
So, you know. Anyway, okay, let me make these quick. I've also got, also from the Rude Astrology account. It's a really funny Twitter account if you ever find yourself there. It says, a Pisces man never simply comes back with a, what are you doing? It always has to be a telenovela, like he left because his mother was dying of a broken heart and he had kidney stones and he hates himself for it and you have to forget. And then it just ends.
Yes.
And it's talking specifically about Pisces men, but like I also have done this before. Like a past version of me, like a less healed version of myself also was this person. So it's a little bit of a self-read as well.
Yeah. So listen, okay. So also I was on Twitter last night and definitely was getting, I was saving a lot of tweets about Pisces men for future reference. I'm like, we just really got to get this healing circle for the Pisces men because they are in crisis. Like, it's just...
Apparently. People hate them.
I mean, it is intense hate. And, I mean, enough that, like, Pisces women are, like, dividing themselves, like, that's not us. Like, you got to separate the two.
Well, I'll own it. It was me for a period of time, and it is no longer, but that was me for a while.
I do think we do some of the same things. I think we have, like, definitely, I mean, you know, we're in the same sign. We have similar behavior. I think the way men present that behavior usually is just worse.
So much worse.
It's so much worse. It's just, I don't know, the presentation of it it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
So.
Because they're not as in touch with the feeling and the.
Right.
You know, there's not as much space to feel feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Okay. I got one more for you that I seemed like classic such a Pisces pod content.
All right, so Astro Bully Angie at Teeks Tarot said, living with a Virgo is both a blessing and a curse because, yes, the house will be clean, but at what cost? At what cost?
Ooh, I feel for you. Because I understand at what cost. Like, I feel that in my spirit.
We ready for the cost? Yeah. So that's all the content I have.
Yes, life with Virgos. All right, welcome back. We are ready for the meats of the episode. So we did talk a little bit earlier about our topic for today, which is the degrees of astrology. So I thought about this episode because I could not figure out what the degrees meant for so long. Like, I was seeing these tweets and all these associations with degrees, and I'm like, how do you know that though? Like, where is this coming from? Where is this information coming from? And I couldn't see it. Like, I didn't see any books on like degrees or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So, doing my little research on Pinterest and on these other places, trying to figure it out. And I saw this blog, and she breaks down the degrees. And once she broke it down, it was very simple. So I'm going to give you all the secret to degrees. So there are 29 degrees, right? So there's 29 degrees of astrology. And so we start at 0. There is a 0 degree. But the 0 degree, I believe, doesn't have a sign association. So the sign association starts at 1. So from 1 to 29, basically what you're going to do is go down the zodiac. Starting at Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. So 1 degree is Aries. Okay. 2 is Taurus. 3 is Gemini. 4 is Cancer. 5 is Leo. 6 is Virgo. And so on and so forth, right? So you go down all 12, and then it starts again.
Okay.
And then it starts again. Now, there's 5 degrees. I think there are 5 degrees that have... There are 4 degrees that have 3... Sorry, hold on. There are 3 signs that have... Nope. Hold on.
Math. It's hard. It's math. We're doing math.
All right. Scratch what I just said. There are 5 signs that have 3 degrees.
Okay.
And the rest have 2. Because 29 obviously doesn't go evenly, that doesn't work evenly. But, so Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo have 3 degree associations. So the Aries degrees are 1, 13, and 25.
Okay.
Taurus is 2, 14, and 26.
Okay.
Gemini is 3, 15, and 27. Mm-hmm. Cancer is 4, 16, and 28. Leo is 5, 17, and 29. Virgo is 6 and 18. Libra is 7 and 19. Scorpio is 8 and 20. Sagittarius is 9 and 21. Capricorn is 10 and 22. Aquarius 11 and 23. And Pisces is 12 and 24. So, when you think about those degrees, now your associations are the signs.
Right.
So those traits that you associate with the 12 zodiac signs are the traits associated with that degree.
Okay.
So when we're talking about degree, again, we know from just earlier, the degree is like the finest detail of the chart. So you've got to know the other energy that you're dealing with, from the element to the planet to the sign to the house to the aspect, and then the degree is going to add like that sprinkle on top.
Will you just really quickly?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm visualizing a birth chart in my mind, and they're like round
for anybody who's not ever seen what the actual birth chart looks like, if you've
Uh-huh.
just pulled up your information online, like it's a big round chart.
Yes.
Where on there do you see the degrees, and what do they mean in the context of a visual? Do you,
Yes.
like, you can explain that?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. So if you're looking at your birth chart, so you're kind of like zooming in. Like, let's say you're looking at this on a computer or something. Now, I will tell you, if you are looking at the Sanctuary app, nope, that's not true. There are degrees in there. It's not on the chart itself, but when you click on the information in that app, it'll tell you the degree
Okay.
of that sign. But if you're looking at a traditional birth chart, now I will say this is sidereal, and I know that there are different kinds of astrology, so we are talking about sidereal astrology. So if you're looking at the round birth chart, you're going to see the planet in the house, right? And so that planet is going to have two numbers next to it. And the first number you're going to see is the degree. Now, we won't get into the other number because I'm not in there yet. So we're gonna stick with the degree.
Okay.
And I think the other number is like more definition to the degree, which it just gets, like we're just gonna get into the degrees themselves right now.
Right. Yes. That's fair.
But yeah, so that tiny number next to the planet is going to be the degree that planet is in that house, in that sign.
Okay. Okay.
And so, yeah, so like you already, like at this point, you'll know, okay, you know the information of, what the planet means. You'll know the sign, that energy, and now you know the house energy. And so you've got that information. So then you get into, you can kind of skip the aspect in this instance, like, because aspects are going to tell you the relationship to other things, like other planets.
Okay.
Yeah, so the degree still can kind of live a little bit separately from the aspect.
Got it.
But, yeah, the degree is going to give you the energy of the rest of that. Like, so we've got that basic information, and then the degree is going to tell us just a little bit more, the sprinkle of energy that's on top of that.
Got it. Okay. I like thinking about it that way. That is helpful. Now I feel like I have a visual.
Yes.
Now let's get into what they mean.
Let's get into it. So, and these are some fun tweets. I will tell you that. This is not, I mean, it's not that they don't have meaning, but they're definitely more fun. Sorry, I had these all pulled up just right, and I think my computer turned off, and so they're not all just right anymore, but we'll do this one at a time. So, the first one we're going to go into is the degrees of favor. And so this is from Crystal at the Astro Sister, and that's the with 2 E's. So she says the degrees of favor, the first set, are 8 degrees and 20 degrees. So if you remember, count down, 8 degrees and 20 degrees are Scorpio's degrees. And so it says that equals strength, gains, and power and control over situations. So I'm like, okay, so that's the favor that you get from 8 and 20 degrees. Then we have 10 degrees. And 10 degrees would be Capricorn. And that gives honor and material rewards gained from the past life. So
I've got no 10 degrees.
No 10 degrees. No 10 degrees. Do you have any 8 or 20?
I do have 8. I have, so my Jupiter is in Virgo at 8 degrees.
Yes. Okay. So then, so you take that, you apply, the Jupiter energy, the Virgo energy, and then on top of that, you sprinkle a little Scorpio energy on top.
Okay.
I think I have a 20 degrees somewhere. I don't remember. I should have had that part pulled up, but I don't remember exactly where my 20 degrees is.
I wrote them all in a note so I would be able to access them for this episode.
Very smart, because I'm like, okay, now where are my 20 degrees? Like, here it is. Like, I always have a chart open always have my chart open somewhere in my phone.
That's good.
Oh, my moon. My moon is in Pisces at 20 degrees. And my Jupiter is in Aquarius at 8 degrees.
Ooh, okay. Okay, so we both have Jupiters at 8 degrees. Because my Jupiter's in Virgo.
Yes. Oh, okay. See, look at that.
But different signs.
Different signs. So Aquarius and Virgo.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Mine's also in the 3rd house, which, is a lot of... God, there's just so many things to interpret, right?
And that's what's so interesting, because it's like and you build on top of that, like, okay, yeah. We're going to get into the charts one day. We're going to just get into our charts deeper one day and get in there. Yes.
Okay, so I heard someone, or maybe I can't remember if I heard it or I saw this. I don't know where I saw this, but someone was talking about how like everyone's birth chart is so individualized that like you won't see the same birth chart twice in like I can't remember what it was, but it was just like an astro.
It's like 29,000 years. Yeah. I think I posted that in my stories last week.
That's what it was. Yes.
Yeah, because it's like it's I think it's like 29,000 years. That's how unique your birth chart is. So like like when people get into like astrology doesn't describe me, I'm like, oh, you haven't got into your birth chart because
you haven't done it yet. Yeah.
There's so much in there. I'm like, God, yes, keep getting it. Dig deeper. That's gonna be our new thing. Dig deeper. Dig deeper. Okay, so the last couple of degrees of favor are 17 degrees. I have to go back to my thing in a second. See, 17 degrees. What did I say that was? Is that Leo? It's either Leo or Cancer.
17 degrees.
I'm trying to count in my head. Like
math is mathin'.
It's Leo. Okay, I did it on my fingers. Go on, count on your fingers.
However you're gonna do it. Oh, that's interesting because I have 17-degree placements in like 3 or 4 different places.
Yeah, see? Some Leo energy to that. So it may mean like, now Leo degrees kind of talk about like fame or being, out in front. Again, like Leo, that Leo energy. So yeah, interesting things there. And the last degree of favor is 21, which is Capricorn. No, it's Sagittarius. It's Sagittarius. Look, now I have to count up for that. Okay.
All right.
So 21 degrees is good fortune, talent, charm, rewards, and latent potential to become.
Okay, my sun is in Pisces, obviously, at 21 degrees. So.
Ooh, there we go.
That's
See?
interesting.
Okay.
All right.
That energy, it's going to bring you some good fortune.
I hope so.
Your person, yourself, with some good energy. Okay, I'm here for it. Favor. It's such a churchy word. Favor.
That's funny.
So, okay, our next set of degrees, I did a really random selection. I tried to just jump all over the place.
It's all right.
This is also from the Astro Sister, and these are the degrees of athletic ability.
Ooh, okay. Let's see if I have any athletic ability.
So see where this applies in your chart. We have 1, 13, and 25, which are degrees Aries. And that's strong stamina, competitive, high level of determination, and fighting strength. That very much describes our Aries energy.
I've got none of those anywhere.
None of those. I'm like, I don't think I have those. I know I don't have any 1 degrees. No, none of those. No. The next one is 2 degrees, which is Taurus, and that's for power. You think about our bull, very powerful.
Tracks.
Yes. And then we have 5, 17, and 29. Again, those are the degrees of Leo. And that's dynamic energy, loves competitions and winning.
Mm-hmm.
Also sounds very Leo-esque. And then we have 10 degrees and 22 degrees, which are Capricorn. And that is persistent, strong bones. If we remember when we talked about the body and astrology last season in the different areas, Capricorn bones is there.
That's their thing.
Just bones. So strong bones and achieves what is sought. And again, you know, if anything Capricorn is going to do, they're going to achieve.
Huh.
Achievement is very big. So, yeah, so different kinds of athletes, right? Like we have some people that are, you know, more of the like physical athletes, and we have some people that are more like, I'm going to keep trying until I get it.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So,
I like it.
Yeah. All right. Let's come back to the next. So, our next set is the degrees of beauty and good looks.
Okay, tell us about it.
Right. So, these are going to be probably a lot of like Aries, or not Aries, Venus kind of placements. But, so, again, and this is also from the Astro Sister. She does a lot of these degrees. I did find some other people, but she does a lot of these posts, so she got featured.
Of course.
So, for these, we're going to check our rising, our sun, our moon, and our Venus signs.
Okay.
So, if any of those planets are 2 degrees, 7 degrees, 14 degrees, 19 degrees, or 26 degrees, or you are a Libra or Taurus rising, which those are our Venus signs. Mm-hmm. These people are natural beauties. You may have perfect lips, whatever that looks like. And you might dress nice.
Okay.
Because you know our Venus loves our appearances and are generally beautiful.
I like it. I've got none of those placements.
None of those placements. Right. Well, you're still beautiful, Shelby.
Am I still pretty?
You're still pretty, Shelby.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
I don't think I have any of those placements either. I don't.
Not one.
Not one.
Not
Not one. We're just two ugly bitches over here, I guess. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Here's one for us. We got these.
Okay, what do we got?
8 degrees and 20 degrees.
Okay.
Which is our Scorpio degree. Or Scorpio rising. Powerful presence and sex appeal. Ow.
Ooh, okay. Yes. I've got Jupiter at 8 degrees, so
yes. We got that 8 degrees. That 20 degrees. Yes. I'm like, my moon sign is 20 degrees. Does that mean my heart is beautiful? My heart is sexy.
Yeah.
I got a sexy heart.
So you got, man, that girl Christine, her heart, so sexy.
So sexy. Oh, okay. So lastly, we have 9 degrees and 21 degrees, or Sagittarius rising. Mm-hmm. And these people have a happy look. The best smiles.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. 9 and 21. I'm like, 9 and 21? 9 and 21? No. Oh, I do have 21. Oh, look. Oh, my Venus is at 21 degrees of Aries.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So,
I definitely think the smile part is something, because that's been a lifelong thing for us.
You've got a great smile. You've got great teeth.
Smile. Yes. I'll be trying with the teeth.
So my sun is in Pisces at 21 degrees, and then my Mercury is in Aries at 9 degrees.
Come on.
So, okay.
Yes.
That's
so
okay.
we have we're sexy and we're smiling.
That's all. Who wants anything more than that, really?
Right.
Anything more than that, it's too much.
It's too much. It's just too much for one person. Too much. All right. Moving along. Again, the Astro Sister. Degrees of social media fame.
Now, how do they know that?
So, what sign do you think comes up first? We'll play a little guessing game first.
Oh, I'm gonna guess Leo.
Come on.
Is that right?
5 and 17 degrees.
I mean, that makes the most sense to me. They want to see and be seen.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Now, what's interesting on this is it parses out. So 29 degrees is also on here, which is a Leo degree. But it parses out 5 and 17 together and 29 separately. So we'll hear about 29 in a second. But 5 and 17 degrees equals adoration, fame, glamour, attention, and a strong creative potential. So I think we said, I don't think either of us have 5 and 17 degrees.
I have a lot of 17 degrees.
Oh, no, never mind. Okay. So, well, we already shall be cooking things, honey.
I mean, it hasn't blown up yet, but we shall see.
Just keep going.
Yeah, let me count. Okay, so my moon is in Gemini at 17 degrees. That makes me feel like I'm going to be, like, secretly famous. Like, I'm going to have, like, an anonymous account or something. Mars in Aquarius at 17 degrees. And then Uranus in Capricorn at 17 degrees. Yeah.
Look, I need to think on those for a little bit. We'll come back and talk about those. Because I'm like, okay. That's very interesting. Especially the Mars... What did you say the Mars placement was again?
Mars in Aquarius.
Mars in Aquarius is 17 degrees. So Mars, I mean, you talk about like taking action and the things that we're doing. And so, what house is that in?
The 8th house. The 8th house.
Ooh, okay. Let me think on that, because in the 8th house gets kind of interesting.
Right? Oh, no, yeah. It's
the 8th house.
Right.
Because the 8th house is, we get into like, not just like sex and death, but like themes related to that. So you talk about like inheritances and stuff. So that, I mean, you could have some kind of inheritance for some famous person, or like you may become, I don't know. We're going to get deeper into that later. I'm like, okay. Yeah. The 8th house has got some interesting themes. Okay. So yeah. Okay, so the next two we have are 11 and 23 degrees, and those are our Aquarian degrees, and those equate to originality, social reformers. They're unique, and also social media, because again, like the 11th house, Aquarius, like groups of people, friend groups, community, that whole piece. So social media would fit in there. Popularity, and many internet friends.
Many internet friends. Well, I don't have any of those, so I guess I don't get any internet friends.
I don't think I have those either. Internet friends are kind of weird anyway. It's like, I don't know this person, but they're kind of my friend because I know them from the internet.
I think a lot of people did, especially like in the earlier days of social media, a lot of people had internet friends. Yeah. But I don't think I've ever had a purely internet friend that I never met in real life.
No.
Maybe people I kept up with via the internet exclusively, but that's about it. Yeah.
I mean, I have, it's a weird thing. Like when on my Planted Self-Care account, I definitely like kind of got to know some people, but we've never met, and it's weird. And I'm like, well, I guess, I don't know, are we friends? I don't know if we're like friends, but we're internet friends, I guess.
Yeah, can we call ourselves friends? I mean, I don't know. I say that you can, but, it is, I don't know. It's a fine line.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. So, apparently we're not going to be those people.
Okay. That's fine.
And then we have 29 degrees, which, again, is a Leo degree. And that is the ability to see human destiny, fame, great success, and attention. So, my sun sign is at 29 degrees of Pisces.
Ooh, okay.
Now, 29 degrees is also, I think there's a post later we're going to talk about, but I think 29 is one of the rare degrees, which is interesting. And, you know, it's the last degree before the sign changes again. And so, yeah, like, I'm, like, right there on the edge, right there. And I think my birth time really is, like, maybe an hour or an hour and a half before the sign changes.
Right.
So, like, right there at the end of Pisces, we almost was an Aries. Almost.
Oh, man. Which is crazy, because you just don't strike me as an Aries.
It's not at all, right?
Any way, shape, or form. But
except for that Venus, girl. Except for that Venus.
just that. Well, you know, that's between you and not me.
It's like, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yes. That's funny, though. That's interesting. I don't obviously don't have any 29 degrees anywhere in the chart, but
it's an interesting detail. Like, so maybe there's social media fame for me.
Okay.
I don't know, because I'm very ghosty. I'm like, as soon as I start getting a following, I'll be gone. Like,
Christine's got another new account.
I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't keep up with all this stuff. But yeah.
It's hard. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Oh, did I already do that one? I already did that one. Okay. Come back. All right, so the next one, we might not do all these. We're gonna check on time. Okay. So the next one is sexual power degrees.
Yeah, I'm curious about this one.
Yes.
What do we
So, if you have any personal planets, so now I think we're going to again say personal planets are your Mars, your Mercury, your Venus. I'm assuming Sun and Moon also count into the personal planets, so those 5. If you have personal planets at 1, 2, 13, 14, 25, or 26. Again, those are the Aries and Taurus degrees. This is reflective of you being powerful in bed. You're the kind of partner that has the influence and power to give your partner life-changing sex. I
don't have any of those.
I don't think I have them either. I'm going to double check. I'm like, well, I know my shit is life-changing. I don't know. It's changing lives. Like,
I mean, but, you know, maybe that's somewhere else in the chart.
Right. Might be another placement. Like,
it's a lot to look at.
Your life will be changed. I know that.
That's for sure. For the better or worse. I don't know.
Right? For the better or the worse. Also, someone replied to this. Oh, I'm sorry. And I forgot to quote. This is from Shoddy Astrology.
Hey. I think we've read some of her tweets before.
Yeah, I think so. She also says, having 8 degrees and 20 degrees, ruled by Scorpio in your chart, can make you a powerful sexual partner too. Although, y'all gotta be careful. You have the power to make people latch on to you because of your intensity, power, and sexual energy.
Ooh.
So that sounds like Scorpio attracts stalkers.
Uh-huh.
But Scorpios are also known to be stalkers.
Well, interesting.
It's one of their little, like, stereotypes. Not like an actual astrology stereotype, but also, like, a lot of the memes, like, they're like, they're stalkers.
Well, you know about my experiences with Scorpios, so...
I do.
Yeah.
And if you listen to season 1, you will also know about some of Shelby's experiences with Scorpios.
Oh, man.
Particularly the feats episode.
Okay, so real quick side note, somebody that I no longer work with but used to work with was like, oh, I finally got around to listening to your podcast, and I was like, you're about to know me in an entirely different way. Like, you know me at work and only at work, and the only reason that you know I have a podcast is because you follow me on Instagram, so be careful what you do with that information.
Yes.
And I just left it at that, and I was like, we'll see.
Just be like, you know what? I'm a whole human being. That's all I gotta say.
Yep.
I'm a whole human being.
Exactly.
It's just their sides, I gotta be professional at work,
We're nuanced humans.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's fine.
Yes. Okay, so our next one is also from Shoddy Astrology.
Hi.
And she says, your Venus sign and degree can show you the types of people that may find you to be very attractive.
Okay.
For example, if your Venus is in Leo or your Venus is at 5, 17, or 29 degrees, this means that people with Leo placements will find you attractive and breathtaking. So, what's the degree on your Venus again?
The degree on my Venus is 27.
Okay. Wait. Okay, no, that's not it. I was like, okay. Gemini.
Okay, so people who are Geminis will most likely find me attractive?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Which is also interesting because you have that Gemini moon, so that, it's like, okay. I see something there. Some connections.
Okay.
I think we said my Venus. Oh, yeah, it's at 21, which, count back up, is at Sag. We're going to count on our fingers. So, Sag,
Does that track for you? Are you thinking some things? Are you feeling some things?
I'm definitely thinking and feeling. So, that Virgo that I'm not talking about this season, Sagittarius moon.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
That makes sense. I see it.
There are a lot of strong aspects in those charts. The chart synastry of that person. There's a lot going on, and it's a lot of strong aspects, which makes a lot of sense to me. I'm like,
All right. Well, that means we got to do an episode about aspects now. Because
yes.
I need to know more.
Yes. Well, we'll definitely talk about aspects. And we'll talk a little bit about synastry at some point. But yeah, once we get into synastry, people want you to everybody wants you to compare their charts. So.
I see.
I was like, am I compatible with this person, and this person, and that person?
Right.
And
okay.
There's a lot involved, but yes, I've done some chart comparisons, and there are a lot of literally I counted them. I did a computerized one as well as just my own kind of stuff, but there are 21 strong aspects. There are 40 medium aspects.
Okay.
And then there are 11 weak aspects. So there's a lot of aspecting between our charts. Now, everyone doesn't have the same amount of all of that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of strong energy and a whole lot of medium energy. So there's a lot going on. And I'm like, well, this is why.
This is why. What computerized thing did you use to run that?
So that one I used time passages.
Okay.
And that one, they'll, I think the chart comparisons are 99 cents, and they actually give you a breakout. A little, and it's not long, but it's, more than you'll get, if you're just looking at the two charts together. Because, of course, you can pull up the two charts. If you go to astro.com, they do have that extended chart selection, and you can look at, there are all kinds of charts. But you can look at your synastry with another person. And, of course, if you know how to read those charts, you can kind of see, and you can see the different aspects and kind of interpret that for yourself. But this just gives you a little, gives you little blurbs, which is helpful.
Right. That's yeah. I'm curious about that. I would love to run a comparison chart in a romantic way, but also just my friends and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I think that'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a synastry chart will be good for that. So I won't get too deep into this either, but there's synastry and then there's a composite chart. And
okay, what's the
I think especially when we're talking about like romantic partners, you can use one or the other. I think synastry, will help with like any other comparing relationships. A composite chart really like makes you one chart. So you have a combined chart.
Okay.
So I've only done one synastry chart. And our combined sun is Gemini, which is a Pisces and a Virgo. So that makes sense to be a Gemini. So it's all interesting, right? Like it's interesting information. But yeah, so that's that. I'm gonna bring us back. I think I keep clicking on the same thing.
Got off on a tangent here.
Oh no, we're good. We have two more, so we're moving along. We're doing it.
Okay.
So we're back to the Astro Sister, and we're talking about degrees of self-employment. And I clicked on this because, I am technically self-employed currently.
For now.
Though not for long.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll be partially self-employed and partially otherly employed. Otherly employed. So, the first 3 degrees are 1, 13, and 25. Mm-hmm. And those, again, are Aries. So, this says strong leadership ability and a go-getter. Very much Aries. They're the pioneer. They're jumping out there. They're going to get it started.
Right.
Then we have 5, 17, 29. Those are Leo. Mm-hmm. Self-reliant, self-confident, ability to plan or organize on a large scale.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Got that.
So I'm like, well, there's those degrees. The 17 and no, I don't have 17. You have 17. I have 29. That's right. I have 29. You have 17. So, hey, sounds like, well, I see it. Shelby's business is coming.
You think I'm self-employable? Can I employ myself?
Absolutely.
Okay. We'll see. We shall see.
Just put the plan together, sis. You got it.
Yay.
And the last 2 are 10 and 22 degrees, which are Capricorn. And they bear and assume responsibility, diligent and resilient. They work towards tangible results. And then in parentheses it says, money. What is the result? Money.
So interesting. So my rising sign is in Cancer at 22 degrees.
See?
I feel like there's something there that makes sense.
Y'all need to see me.
Yeah.
It's in Cancer at 22 degrees, Shelby.
Yeah.
Come on
I'm
now.
assuming all the responsibility.
Shelby cooking things. Cancer. Come on.
Right.
Come on.
It makes sense. It's meant to be. It's meant to be.
Make it happen. Capricorn. Capricorn is the long game, It's the long game.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I'll play the long game.
You got it.
We can do that.
You got it.
Yeah.
Put the plan together. Put the plan in place. Let's get it.
I need to come up with a plan first, I guess.
That's all right. You got time. That's what we're doing. We're going to start the plan. Think about, dream it, Shelby. Think about where you want it to go and put the plan together.
I needed this pep talk.
Yes. All right. Our last one is from Av the Surgeon. And this is Avildar at Avildar. Avaldar. And so these are charts. So I thought this one was kind of interesting. So relocation charts and placements. So this says you do not want to see in there. So this is what we don't want to see. We don't want to see it. We don't want to see it. Now this is more houses. This is not degrees. But I just thought this was interesting. So a Mars in the 7th house.
Okay.
A 12th house, Venus or Mars. I have both.
Okay. Okay.
Chart ruler in the 12th house.
Okay.
no, wait. Where's my, wait.
How do
my
you know
chart
what rules your
ruler.
chart?
So your chart ruler is the planet that rules your rising sign.
Okay, got it.
My chart ruler is in the 12th house. My chart ruler is Venus.
Right.
And Venus is in the 12th house. So I don't know. I may be doomed. Don't know.
Okay. I mean, it's not looking great.
Am I leaving? I don't know what it means. Like the relocation. Like, am I just moving? Like, why do
It just says
I don't want to see it. Like,
why don't we want to see it?
Why don't I want to see it? Do I not want? Is it somewhere? Am I relocating somewhere bad?
I hope not. I mean, well, I guess you're free to go anywhere because now we figured out virtual recording. But still,
Right.
I hope it's somewhere good. If you're
Right.
gonna go.
So here's the other interesting thing that doesn't get talked about a lot about the 12th house. The 12th house also is related to prison. And every time I read that, I feel very concerned for myself.
Oh no!
Because I have a lot of energy in the 12th house. In fact, a stellium.
I will bail you out, whatever it takes. We're not going to let you end up like that. We can't let you go out that way.
Girl, I'm going to have to let the drugs go because I can't be unfree. Like, I can't.
It's not
It's
worth
like my
it.
freedom is so important.
Truly.
I'm like, so I need to, look, I'm going to consult a more experienced astrologer. Somebody talk to me about what's happening and why I don't want to see these things. Yes, because there's a stellium, and Venus and Mars are in the 12th house. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
I mean, so I'm looking at mine, and I feel like none of my planets are in the 12th house.
See?
Is that right? Yeah. None of my, no, looks like not.
Wow. See, I mean, it just really makes sense why I am the way I am. I think I posted that in my stories today about my stellium in the 12th house. I'm like, this is why I am this way.
Sorry. Can't help it.
Just all the spirituality, all the rituals and all the stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, that's
in
me.
There.
It's in there. Yeah. Okay, the last part of this tweet. It says, so the first part was things we don't want to see. Mm-hmm. This part is things that can become challenging. Mm-hmm. So if you have an 8th house sun, Mars, or Saturn.
Okay.
If you have a 5th house Saturn, specifically for creatives.
Okay.
I can kind of, yeah. Like that can become challenging.
I've got a Mars and a Saturn in the 8th house.
Okay.
What's going to be challenging? What?
So the Mars and the Saturn. So again, this is where the 8th house gets interesting because it's like, again, like we have the themes that come with like death and like things dying or like things related to someone dying or someone you know dying or something like that. So we have to dig it. We're going to dig into your chart and we're going to see like what we can find out because weird.
You know what?
Weird things.
At some point on this podcast, we really need to just like have, even if we have to pay them, like have a professional astrologer just like really dig into both of our charts.
Yes. I think we're definitely going to have to pay them, but I think we should absolutely do that.
As long as, because I would pay for that outside of the podcast, but just having them like agree to be recorded while they're doing it is really a thing. Like,
Yes.
But we can see. We should really see if we can make that happen.
Let's do it. I'm down. You know I'm down. Okay, let me think. I might have some people in mind. Actually, I'm like, okay. Let me think about that. Okay. Yes. So the last two, a 12th house Mercury. Again, me. Things that could become challenging, and a 2nd house Moon.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, now about relocation, I don't know how the 2nd house Moon relates, but like thinking about your moon being like your emotional life and your subconscious and thinking about like the 2nd house, like just pretty much about like material gain, money, like Taurus is all about stability and like material security.
Right.
So that being like your inner, I could see that being challenging in your life. Like if that's a focus area, or if that's like your emotions are attached to the material world in that way, or like having that security financially.
There's some kind of value overlap there that doesn't quite like line up together very well. Yeah. That makes sense.
And just thinking about how, just finances and over your lifetime work. Like, look, sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. Like, and,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that could be real tough if that's, very strongly linked for you. But yeah, so that's all I have for our degrees of astrology.
That was fun. I feel like I learned a lot about myself.
And there's so much more, and there are questions now that you have, and you're like, oh, let me go find out some more about that.
Yeah, I'm very excited to, I don't know, I've been thinking this the last couple weeks that I just like really need a professional to look at my chart and tell me some things.
Yes.
So yeah, I now I've got more questions than answers, but that's okay.
Yes. I hear you. There are definitely some things I've been like just letting roll around, and like the more I read, like I understand other stuff that I've been thinking about. I'm like, oh, like I think about like the 29th degree and like the sun in Pisces, but it's in the 11th house. So it's like, oh, so I'm supposed to kind of do something out of the box a little bit, and maybe that is going to bring some level, I don't know about fame. Like, I don't aspire particularly to fame, but like, maybe that brings some notoriety in some way.
Yes, that might look, fame might look different for many people. So
yes.
I think, that makes sense to me.
Because there's some level fame that I just don't want to see at all.
Right. The kind that has people like very in your business and like,
yes.
We don't like that.
We don't like that. If people following you, taking pictures of you, doing everything, what kind of life is that? No.
Yeah.
It's not for me. But that is all I have for us for our degrees. Okay. So hopefully, people have found some interesting degrees. Go get in your chart, dig in there, see what those degrees are, start asking questions. Hit us up.
Dig deeper. Should we just take a quick break and then we'll come back to wrap up the show?
Yeah.
All right. So we will be right back. Okay, welcome back to, of course, the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. Thanks for making it through. I guess we're here to just sort of wrap up season 2, episode 1.
Yeah. Can't believe we're in season 2. That's wild.
I know. We've been doing this for like so long. I don't know.
Right.
We really committed to this. Okay. So I was having this moment. Sorry, this is not my Pisces moment of the week, but it's just a thing I was thinking about recently. I remember I started my year, I was at a bachelorette party over New Year's, and I woke up and I had the worst hangover of my life on January 1st of 2022. Was really struggling. But then Christine texted me and asked if I wanted to start a podcast with her, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I felt so much better automatically.
Yes. Oh, a hangover cure. Come on. Yes.
Right. So thank you. Thank you for that. Like, I owe you my literal life. At least on that particular day.
We're not dramatic at all. Like, as Pisces. I owe you my life.
I owe you my whole life. We'll see if this podcast takes off. That I'm going to hold you to that.
Hey,
I okay. Owe you my life.
It's okay. So, I don't take lives. Just, we don't have to take those as payments, but
just your
I'll just take your friendship. Like your soul. You won't take my soul, okay?
Right. Take it, don't break it.
Right. So, all right. So, first off, we would love to invite you to write to us, email us.
Please.
Send us your thoughts, your comments, your questions, your ideas. Like if you want us to talk about something, if you have, questions, again, ask a Pisces, whatever, send your questions. So, I'm going to spell this out for you. It's our email address. So, you can write to us at suchapiscespod.
Such a Pisces pod.
And that is spelled SUCHAPA. Okay, see, I haven't spelled it in a long time.
It's hard. It's a lot of letters.
It's definitely not PA. All right. SUCHAPISCESPOD Such a Pisces pod.
We are also at Such a Pisces pod on Twitter, Instagram, and of course, Facebook. If you're there for whatever fucking reason.
I feel like there are people that follow that page. I think there are.
That's great. I don't even follow it on Facebook. I need to do that. I just realized that I
Shelby,
never did
follow
do
our
that.
account, Shelby.
Oops. Sorry. Yeah, my bad. I'll get on that.
I can't remember, but I feel like there is someone following. I mean, it's like I have a Facebook page for my business because I guess well, I have to have a Facebook page for my business because it's how I can sell things on Instagram through the Instagram app. So anyways, people follow that page all the time like, oh God, I don't do anything with that. What are they doing? People just keep following it. And I'm like, hey.
Okay.
Hope you're seeing something there that you want to buy. Like, I don't know what you're doing here. But you're here. So, yeah, Facebook will creep up on you.
Okay. Noted.
I'll make sure to check in on our Facebook page, too.
Please do.
Hey, y'all. Hope you're listening to the show.
Before we get out of here, do you have any Pisces moments of the week that you'd like to share?
So, I was trying to think about, like, what did I want to do for my Pisces moment of the week? I don't have anything, like, strong. I can definitely tell you how, I feel like this is like a Taurus rising moment, honestly. That I almost had a breakdown on the way home today that I realized was because I hadn't eaten and I was just hungry.
Yeah.
I just, like,
I'll do it.
I was done. And I was really fine. I don't know why I was in that space other than I think I got too hungry. Oh, well, I had gone into a Hobby Lobby to pick something up on my way from my babysitting, and I couldn't, the reception in that store was so bad. Like, I couldn't get my phone to do what I needed to do so I could check out. And so it took a long time for the reception to get right. And I'm like, I didn't want to have to leave the store to walk outside for the phone to work.
Come back in and buy the thing. I'm here for it. Like,
right.
Yeah.
So it just took a minute. So I was frustrated. So then I had to drive home, and by the time I left, it started raining again. And so drive home in the rain, and then of course I got towards home. There was traffic because of course it's Friday at like 2 p.m.
Oh my God. Yes.
And coming towards downtown, it's just like a mess. So then, like, I was irritated about that. It just got into a little space. It's just like, I'm too hungry. Then I was like, I got home and I got out of the car, and I was, pulling the stuff from the passenger seat over my body to get out of the car, and I scratched myself with, like, the box that, I bought. And I was like, oh, well, it broke the skin. And then later I was like, oh, no, it's bleeding. Oh, no, it's a full cut.
Oh, no.
I'm like, it's just too much.
It's just like, I've seen someone tweet about this before, so I'm not going to get it exactly right, but it's like when your shirt, like, snags on something and you just realize like that was your final fucking straw. And
Yes.
like, oh my god. Like and that on its own would not have been that big of a deal, but like
Right.
you already had
Just
so many things just piled up from the day.
Just go, you know. Because I told myself this morning, I had time. The thing is, I have time. But, like, I start doing other things. And I was like, oh, I need to get this content ready, blah, blah, blah. And then I still didn't post half of the content I was supposed to post for my own page today. I was like, whatever, it's fine. And so it's like next week, there's always another week. But I ran out of the house and I'm like, oh, it's fine. We're only doing like a half day today. I'll be able to get back home and eat lunch.
Sure. So much for that.
It's always that day. We didn't even do so much. I mean, like, I was like, it really will be fine because we're going to kind of like a low-key kind of activity for the day versus like last week we went to like the science center and it was a lot. Or like the zoo, you know, like when we do that kind of stuff, I'm like, no, you need to have some sustenance, girl.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, like it spiraled quickly and I was like, I'm about to lose it. So I had some porch time and I had some lunch and then I had some time with Shelby and it was better.
Hey. I hope so. Well, that does feel kind of like, I mean, that just feels like a human moment, but it also does feel very much like a Taurus rising moment.
Yeah.
Just a Taurus moment. And I think this segment can always be that, like, that's a little bit of this aspect of my chart coming out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. Well, as you know, I've had a lot of changes in my life recently.
Absolutely.
I moved into a new house at the end of June. I started a new job, and you know, everything's just been like moving and fucking grooving.
Yes.
And now we're here, and we're like, you know, everyone's like, "Oh, you're getting settled in," and I'm like, yeah, but just like, I don't know, part of me has just been feeling really weird and unsettled, and it just like doesn't totally feel like home yet, and like when I also, you know, when I don't have things kind of the way that I want them to be, or like totally like, I don't know, it just, when I don't feel fully grounded, I just start having thoughts of just like, I just fuck everything. Let me just like, I just want to implode my entire life. I'm going to just move to Mexico. And I really don't, it has been a long time since I've had thoughts and feelings like that.
Yeah.
But suddenly I was like, oh, this is what Christine's been talking about. It's happening to me. So anyway, we saw a new therapist last night. Me. Yay! When I say we, I mean me. Like, I went and saw a new therapist last night.
Come on, Gemini Moon. Just we. Yes.
Yeah, me and my multiple personalities saw a therapist last night. And, man, we just cried the whole time. It was great.
Oh,
it was so great.
Yes.
And, you know, I love a therapist that is down with astrology. She listed her big three on her website. So I was like,
yes,
love this. She's a Libra.
Okay.
So
great sign for therapists. Yes.
That's what I thought. And then at the end, I was like in the middle of crying, and she was just like, you know, it's just like checking in, how you feeling? And I was like, I'm a Pisces, so this is probably going to be what every session is like. And so then that opened the door, and we started talking about astrology. She told me to look into my North Node and just kind of see what direction that points. So future episode topic, I told her I would do some reading before the next session.
Yep. And you've like, your North Node, you still have some time, but you definitely, a direction is definitely helpful. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's, yeah. So I would like to at least know, like, where's it pointing for me?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because you're a fresh 30. So you still got like a good 10 years before it really like kicks in. Like,
I'm probably still, I need to look and see like when my Saturn return is exact.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm through, like, I think I'm past it now, but still in that shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know that for sure. So, who knows?
Yeah. You might still be in it. You might still be in it. Especially, I mean, with the things that have happened this summer, like all the changes, the move and the job and like all these, like, you might still be, I mean, the shadow, there's always the shadow. But like, there's definitely some Saturn returny things still happening in your life.
That is very true, and we will see how it all ends up.
Yes.
But anyway, I felt like it was a very Pisces moment for me to go, oh, this is the thing Christine's been talking about for the last few months, where she's like, yeah,
fuck
maybe
it all.
this just like, this life's not for me. Like, maybe I'm just going to fuck it all and move to Mexico. And I'm like, you know what? Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You might want to, we did say we need to look at your solar return chart, which could also give us some clues, because you might have some Pluto action coming up.
Okay.
Which gives you very much fuck it all and move to Mexico. Implode your life, that's Pluto, right?
And that's been the vibe, that's been the feeling.
Yeah.
That's, there. So, we're working on it in therapy.
Yes, come on, look. I too, when these benefits kick in, girl, yes.
Yeah. Yes. And they're good. They're good benefits.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So take advantage.
Getting that therapist.
Get that EAP program.
Mm-hmm. Look, Melissa told me, so, side note into like, I guess if you haven't picked up by now, Shelby and I both roller skate,
yes,
quads.
You do it. I think you're a little more practiced than I am.
I am more practiced because you had to take a break.
I did.
You did. You started before me and you're back. And so I'm sure you will be right back on it very soon.
We'll get there.
Like, I've seen your videos. You're doing great. Girl, am I going to forget?
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
sorry.
no. I got it. No, we're there. So, okay. I've taken most of yesterday and today. I have not skated. I'm having some interesting sensation in one of my knees. And I looked it up. I think it's like bursitis, something like that. It just feels like this like pressure almost. Like it's not pain, but it's definitely like uncomfortable. Which is like, this happened before. I think I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but I strained my groin.
Yes, you did.
Earlier this year. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I had to take a week off. So it sounds like this is kind of a similar thing of like, you, more than anything, you need to rest. I'm not going to tell you that I don't have plans to skate tomorrow morning, but
you took a couple days off.
I took a couple days off. Hopefully that helps. I think I'm going to get me like a little soft brace or something to kind of help. I think compression is one of the things that helps.
Right.
Yeah, but like, so one of the things Melissa mentioned with these benefits is she's like, yeah, go to the physical therapist. Like, we have one. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I will go to a physical therapist.
If you go to the one at the Employee Wellness Center, it's literally free.
Yes, and that's what we were talking about. I was like, well, yeah, absolutely. Maybe I will go to a physical therapist and they can help me with this knee. And they're probably going to be like, girl, you're going to have to take rest days. Like, oops. The Skate 365 is not realistic for me at this stage in life.
Well, I feel like I'm really trying. I didn't skate yesterday. And that was the first. I like did 2 days in a row and then 1 day off, and then I skated this morning, and I'm planning on skating again tomorrow if I have time.
Yeah.
It just I feel like I'm not going to get good unless I do it all the time.
It's true. I think you can always take rest days. I think part of it is like, it just feels so nice. It's fun. And you feel so much joy when you do it, even if you fall. Yeah.
Yes.
So then you just want to do it all the time.
I know. I'm having so much fun with it. I like really have not been bad at something and then slowly gotten better at it in a really long time, I don't think. And I just, it's like very inner child healing.
Yes.
Feels like kind of fun and sexy. Like,
yeah. it's a vibe. It's a vibe. And like, I mean, yeah, it's a good time, so it's hard not to. I think part of my problem is like I don't know when to stop. Like, it's time now. And I mean, usually the cutoff is when my body is like, no more. It's like, girl, you've skated for over 2 hours. It's time. It's time. It's hot. Because most of the time I'm outside. Like, it's hot.
It's so hot. It's so
like,
hot.
you cannot keep doing it. It's like, body's like, nope. And you try to hit that one turn, you're like, oh, it wasn't hit. Okay, let me just take the skates off and sit down somewhere before I injure myself. You're like, you just have such a good time for so long, and it's like, okay, I don't want to stop doing this, but also you can always do it some more tomorrow.
Yeah, so that was the same thing when I very first started. I got up one day and I skated for 2 hours, and because Jack was like, oh yeah, if you practice like 10 minutes every day, you'd be like super good. And I was like, yeah, 10 minutes a day. And the very first day I was like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because I had such a good time. And then I was sore. And then I had to skip a day. And I just want all of the good feelings.
There is no way you can practice for 10 minutes.
I know. It takes more than that to get the fucking skates on. Okay?
Right.
I also
like 10 minutes.
I told Jack today that I really want. So I have heeled skates, and I really want to get some flat skates because that's the kind of skates that you need for roller derby.
Yes. Are you gonna do derby?
Roller derby. I'm kind of thinking about it.
Yes.
There's a derby league here, and they do like intro classes. Where they like it's not super expensive, but they just teach you the basics of like derby rules, and I'm like, that sounds fun.
I love this because did I tell you that I was also thinking about doing derby?
No,
that's what's so fun. I was like, wait, you're gonna do derby? So I was like, this is always me, and I think this is like an Aquarius midheaven thing. It's like, well, I need to just be a little bit better. I need to know a little bit more. I need to be a little bit better. I need to a little bit. I'm always giving myself like, well, you're not there yet. So it's definitely on my mind. They had a booth at Nashville Pride, and I was like, I kind of do want to do derby. I used to love watching derby. Like, I feel like there was a show on MTV. This is where it started. Now, I think people have like somewhat denounced that show. Like, okay, now derby isn't that extreme, but.
Right.
Yeah.
It never is. It never is
right.
as much as it is on TV.
It's television. But yeah, I was like, oh, that looks fun. So, okay, so I didn't know that they didn't skate on heeled boots, which I guess that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, would you get like slades, or are you getting like a low top boot kind of situation?
I don't know. I think I need to do a little bit more research because that's just what it said on when I was looking into like the lessons.
Okay.
They just said like, please make sure that you have flat skates, or whatever they're called. But I need to look into it a little more and figure out what exactly I would need. So.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that they skated on a flat skate. Because I know that feeling is different. So you would have to definitely get used to skating on a flat,
right.
But yeah, plenty of people do it. Yeah,
it seems like fun. My therapist last night also asked me what my relationship to anger was, and I was like, I don't really have one because I just like pretend like I'm not angry.
Yeah.
And now I feel like this would be like such a good like get all the aggression out. Like
yes.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be fun. I feel like that'd be fun.
Yes. Look, my dad told me, like, when I told him that I was thinking about it, this is probably a month or two ago, he was like, just make sure you have some good health insurance. And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea.
That is kind of a requirement, I think, yeah.
Yes, because, again, we cannot be getting injured. We have whole, bills and obligations we have to take care of. We cannot be down on a skating injury.
Speaking of obligations, I just realized that we've like really gone off on a tangent here.
My
so
bad.
we should
Yes.
probably end the episode.
Let's end the show. Sorry, y'all. Y'all don't want to hear about us skating?
Okay, if you want the skating the combination astrology skate podcast, this is it. This is it.
You talk about all the different kinds of skates and wheels and
we can do that.
surfaces.
That's what you want.
Right. If you want the skate content, let us know. We got it.
Right. But on that note, we've already given you the spell out. We already told you where you can find us. So please tune in next week, and we'll see y'all next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Peace.